Just to go to some of your texts and tweets, somebody said we should never have got rid of Fianna Fáil. The question is, did we get rid of Fianna Fáil?
I'm still here, Vincent.
Oh, yes, ask Brian Hayes what he thinks about the Taoiseach's 35,000 intervention for Enda's Fine Gael PAL.
Well, Kieran Conlon was on a salary above where the maximum was, and my understanding was on exceptional cases where people are on that, they're entitled to it. They're entitled to request that.
What do you think of people who've been afflicted by what you've done today in the budget, the people that you've taken money from in child benefit, back to school allowances, job seekers benefits, disability, one parent family, rent supplements, fuel allowance, all that? What do you think they think you've given this fella this amount of extra money?
What do I think?
They'll think about that, about him.
I think they'll find it very difficult, but at the end...
Do you think just they'll find it very difficult?
Well, I think they'll see it probably... They'll see one individual where there's a concentration of one individual and €37,000, and they'll park that there, and then they'll say our national economic crisis and how we're going to resolve that.
And what do they think about people in Fine Gael and Labour talking about a balanced budget when people like you are asked straight out, tell us where the balance is, and you can't answer the question?
I've just given you where the balance is.
You were unable to point to any balance, compensating balance for people who've afflicted by this budget. You couldn't point to any compensating balance.
I've just given you 4 examples on the social welfare side and on the tax side where we have introduced, in my view, a balanced budget that has made a difference for people
and
in a circumstance where there has to be 3.8 billion of an
you
adjustment.
People have a bloody nerve in going on about just a minute.
I know you're trying what you're trying to do. The pantomime.
Going on about the difficult decisions and how tough it is being given. When you people are on these relatively mega salaries, taking decisions to cut
mega salary?
To 150,000.
Well, I'm not on 150,000.
Well, what are you on?
130.
That's a mega salary.
And
that's a mega salary, right? That's a mega salary. Compared with the people that you've afflicted in this budget,
in my tax.
Compared with people that you've afflicted in this budget, isn't there something grotesque about you people sitting around and commiserating with yourselves about the hard decisions that you have to take when all the pain of the hard decisions is on somebody else?
No, the pain is throughout our society.
It isn't. How is it on you?
What do you mean?
How is the pain of this budget on you?
In terms of
on you, how is the pain? How are you affected adversely by this budget?
I'm affected by all the tax increases that have been affected by everyone else. Same as yourself.
Tell me.
You mentioned VAT. You mentioned VAT.
Just tell me. What?
You mentioned VAT.
VAT. That's the only thing, is it?
Any other tax?
Can you think of anything else?
Well, what
capital? You wouldn't presumably be paying capital gains tax, capital. So you get away scot-free.
Well,
and the poorest of the people in this society are afflicted by it.
Well, I think if you're looking at this budget and you actually run the numbers in terms of the differences that have been given out on the social welfare side, I think in any fair assessment of it, despite your pantomime sort of juxtaposed
you think
position,
that's pantomime, do you?
I just think you're trying to provoke a pantomime.
There's an anger about what you people have done.
I think you're faking it, Vincent.
There's an anger. I'm not faking it.
I think you are.
There's an anger about what you people have done. You guys are the ones who faked it, promising that there would be a fair budget. And we've got. You could hardly think of a more unfair budget.
I think the difference that has been done on public expenditure and on taxes is fair. It's a very difficult. It's a very difficult budget. It's a very difficult budget. But I think you are faking it because you're trying to dramatise some circumstance for the purpose of television. But that's your game.
Do you think the cut in the disability allowance is fair?
Well, that's something. I think that's something we need to look at again.
Yeah.
I think that's something we need to look at again.
Is it faking it to be angry about what you did on that?
Oh, I just think there's a lack of sincerity there in your anger.
There's a lot of people out there who are definitely not faking it.
No, I know that. I know that. Yeah, that's right. And this is a difficult budget. There's no other way of presenting it.
We feel such pity for you having to take these terrible decisions, and all the time you stayed up at night thinking how much you could take off the poor people in the society. Must have been very difficult. Did you miss out any group, by the way? Any vulnerable group? Did you?
Well, you tell me.
Did you? I can't think of any vulnerable group you missed out on.
I think everyone has been affected by this budget. But I think the key...
No, they haven't. You haven't been.
What do you mean?
You haven't been affected by the budget. The only thing you could come up with was the VAT.
But, I mean, are you suggesting that we should have hiked up tax even further?
I'm saying, you said everyone is affected by the budget.
Well, I think everyone is affected by the budget. Because everyone pays indirect taxation.
Anyway,
Maybe you say we don't. I know, the old dramatisation again.
All right, we're going to end this evening with a performance by Tig Ling in Fatima Mansions. The group was founded by Irish-Nigerian musicians, and the song that they're singing was written by the late Liam Weldon, and Christy the rapper is the resident of Fatima Mansions. Must tonight, good night.